All right, Sports Mashup number 105, April 5th, 2023. It is the week of the Masters. Plus, you have the tail end of the NBA NHL season. You have Major League Baseball. You have the college basketball season over. Starting in the NBA, Kevin Durant had 35 points on Sunday evening in his third game back since injury against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander also had 39 points in that game, and the Suns starting lineup scored 96 of their 128 points, and is a bit different in their game last night. But Durant still getting booed by OKC fans, by the way. Found that interesting. But he was terrific in this game.
Well, it's fitting because if you think about it, the way like those three main core guys are now with Westbrook, Harden, and Durant, if they would have all stayed together, what could have been, and they still probably, I don't know, I mean, Serge Ibaka would have probably still been there, but what they could have built around them.
Yeah, they had their chances. I think the problem is that I don't know if they're ever going to beat the Warriors at that time.
That was skinny Harden, not really much of a beard Harden.
Yeah, I guess that was also they lost to the Heat.
And Harden was their sixth man.
Yeah.
But as I'm saying, if you imagine if they would have just kept that core, at least those three, and got pieces.
Yeah. But Durant had 35, 5, and 5. Ayton had 19 and 11. Chris Paul had 16 points and 8 assists. Booker had 22, 5 rebounds, 10 assists, and Okogie only had 4. So they still got 96 points from the starters, with one of the starters only having 4 points. So we'll see. The Suns clinched the 4 seed in the NBA playoffs, and they're going to play one of these three. Right now it would be the Warriors, who are half game ahead of the Clippers and the Lakers. The Clippers and the Lakers play each other tonight. Anthony Davis and LeBron James are questionable, a.k.a. we don't want to play the Suns in the first round. We'd rather play the Kings, I think is what they're saying there. Or we'd rather play a play-in, 7 versus 10, or whatever it is. I think it's 7 versus 8, actually, for the 7 seed. But the Clippers and Lakers both 41 and 38. As a Suns fan, I don't
think it'd be 7, 10, 8, 9.
I think it's 7, 8, and then 9, 10, because the loser of 9, 10 is done. The winner of 7, 8 is the 7 seed, and then the loser of 7, 8 plays the winner of 9, 10 for the 8 seed. Gotcha. I think it's how it works. But, I don't want to play the Warriors with Wiggins back, which it looks like he's going to be back. He's been out for a while.
Gary Payton Jr.'s back.
Yeah, I don't want to play the Warriors if I'm as a Suns fan, which I am. I would, out of these three, I'd rather play the Clippers the most because I don't think Paul George is going to be back for the first round. Then I would rather play the Lakers than the Warriors, but I'm sure it's going to be the Warriors. But you got to beat whoever's in front of you. And the Warriors this season have been a terrible road team. Their road record is hideous.
And that just makes the storyline with KD and the Warriors.
Yeah. Yeah, the Suns just got to stay healthy. They can beat anybody. That's just the way you got to approach it.
And then you got the Mavs a half game out of the play-in behind OKC. 3 games left against the Kings, Bulls, and the Spurs.
Yeah, the Mavericks, things have not been good since they got Kyrie Irving. And
Kyrie and Luka are doubtful for tonight's game.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough spot. I mean, they had 4 free throws down by 1 in Atlanta on Sunday night, and they made 2 of 4.
Like we talked about last week, they had 3 hard games coming into this. I mean, right now you're basically banking on OKC to lose.
Yeah, and I didn't look at OKC's schedule, but OKC plays hard. They have a superstar who raises his level, and Dallas seems to be lacking a lot right now. And I think Kyrie's been playing better than Luka recently, which, I mean, I know Kyrie was way better in Atlanta in that loss.
I think that's, due to their injuries.
So OKC has the Jazz and Grizzlies left. I mean, I still think the Mavericks will get the 10 spot, but either way, if you do, you're probably playing New Orleans or Minnesota. Then you have to win that game. Is
Zion going to be back at all?
I haven't read about that, but should anybody really trust this Dallas team and a winner go home, this current form of this team, because Jalen Brunson was huge for them last year. He's gone. Dorian Finney-Smith made shots. Spencer Dinwiddie made shots last year. Like those two guys, those three guys, Brunson, Finney-Smith, and Dinwiddie are a big reason why they beat the Suns. And you lost those guys. Now you have Kyrie and Luka. That's never really been a systematically speaking. That doesn't feel like a great fit.
You start Dwight Powell and bring Christian Woods off the bench, and then Christian Wood goes for a double-double every night. Like, why not just start the guy?
That's another guy that I feel like doesn't fit very well there either. And
start him and make Dwight Powell your energy guy off the bench. He's your lob guy.
It's a train wreck in Dallas, and we'll see. But they got 3 games figured out. One of them is against one of the worst teams in the league. The other 2 are against teams that already know their fate. Sacramento's the 3 seed. Chicago's the play-in spot.
Yeah. So, playing games starting next Tuesday. Current stat leaders through last night, the 4th. Points per game is still Joel Embiid at 33.3. Teams is the Kings 121.4.
Rebounds, Domantas Sabonis of the Kings 12.4, and the Bucks leading the team 48.8.
Harden assists per game 10.8. Team assists, the Warriors 29.5.
Blocks per game, Jaren Jackson Jr. with 3, and the Nets lead in the team category at 6.2.
Steals is still OG at 1.9, and also the Raptors at 9.4.
Field goal percentage, Walker Kessler of the Jazz at 72%, and team field goal percentage, the Nuggets at 50.5.
Threes made is Clay, 290. Team threes, Warriors, 1,320. They made 50 in a week.
Not bad. 3-point
surprising,
percentage.
Or it doesn't sound like that much, but I think they only played like 3 games.
Yeah.
So that's kind of scary for whoever they're playing if they're making 53s in 3 games.
Yeah, I'd like to avoid that. But the Suns have been good against the Warriors this year, I will say. That's probably the most likely matchup.
Out of those 3 games, Steph probably shot 83s or 75.
Yeah, and 3-point percentage leader is Luke Kennard of the Grizzlies, 48.9, and team 3-point percentage is the 76ers at 38.7.
Team free throws, 76ers, 83.7.
All right, let's go on to the NFL.
Yeah, you got John Elway's no longer with the Broncos as his contract ends.
Felt like this was coming for a while, I would say. Wasn't really that big of a part of things the last couple of years anyway, so I'm not surprised by this at all.
It's like, well, I don't even want he lowered his role, right? He wasn't the GM anymore.
Yeah. For a couple of years, yeah.
So it's like it's not even that big of a deal. Like you're just not having a longtime Bronco in the building anymore.
Yeah. You also have Georgia defensive lineman Jalen Carter will only meet with teams with top 10 picks. Was once expected to possibly be the number 1 overall pick or number 2 possibly. I still think he'll be in the top 10. I mean, he's meeting with teams only in the top 10, but
had off-field issues, a bad combine, a bad pro day.
Yeah.
And then never before has NFL players' cap hit exceeded over $39 million. That all changed this year with Deshaun Watson getting $54.993 million cap hit, the largest for any player in NFL history. Watson will hit the Browns' cap for the same every single season through 2026.
Yeah, the Browns are a normal run franchise, right? I mean, Deshaun Watson's not even a top 5 quarterback. He's not even in the conversation to be a top 5 quarterback.
And then highest paid cornerbacks, average annual salary. Who do you think's number 1?
Corner?
Yeah.
Jalen Ramsey?
Nope, it's your boy.
Oh, Jair Alexander. Okay.
$21 million. Number 2 is Denzel Ward at 20.1. Then Ramsey at 20. Marlon Humphreys at 19.5. Marshawn Lattimore 19.4. Xavier Howard at 18. Tre'Davious White at 17.3. J.C. Jackson 16.5. Carlton Davis, which I don't even know how he's making this much money for the Bucks, at 14.8. And then tied for 10th is Darius Slay and Marcus Peter at $14 million. Who we found out could have possibly been teammates as Darius Slay came down to either going to stay with the Eagles or going to Baltimore. If the Baltimore could have had Marlon Humphreys, Marcus Peters, and Darius Slay,
That would be pretty good.
But though you still be on the field a lot because you don't know who's going to be your quarterback.
Yeah, no doubt.
I saw today that they're saying they might draft a quarterback in the first round. So
there's a lot of buzz with some of those quarterbacks outside of like Stroud, like Hendon Hooker starting to get some buzz. Will Levis a little bit.
I told you Hendon Hooker might fall and get it. And if him and his main receiver from Tennessee get hooked up together.
Well, Jalen Hyatt's going to Green Bay. So what can you do?
Jordan Love's going to need a backup. And I did see that Hoyer signed with the Raiders. So now they have Jimmy G, the other the other dude from the Patriots, and now Hoyer, who was a Patriot guy.
Yeah, Josh.
So you got three ex-Patriot quarterbacks as your quarterback room,
and none of them are Tom Brady.
With an old Raiders assistant.
Yep.
Just filling the quarterback room with guys who know his system.
Yep.
And how is Hoyer still even in the league?
Great question.
And then NFL Draft Day, April 27th, 29th, Union Station in Kansas City, Missouri, which I did see Travis Kelce's hosting a festival or concert type deal during the draft weekend.
Well, there you go. Golf.
Last weekend, you had the Valeris Texas Open. Winner was Corey Connors. Won 1.6 million, shot 15 under.
And this week,
you have the Masters Tournament, famed champion Scotty Scheffler at Augusta National Golf Club in Augusta, Georgia, where you'll have the live golfers back for this.
Yeah, it's a little bit different now that a lot of those guys are now established with live. Last year, Phil Mickelson didn't play in the Masters. He makes his return. You had other guys that weren't with live yet that are now with live. Cam Smith, a few others.
You also have Aaron Wise withdrew from the Masters due to mental health concerns. Posted it on Friday. He's the world's 45th ranked player, the 2018 Rookie of the Year, and the 2016 National NCAA champion.
Wish him well. But yeah, it's a very interesting tournament this year. Maybe the most buzzworthy Masters going into it that we've seen in a while.
Yeah, and then there's talks of the live golfers wearing their team uniforms.
That would be flat out embarrassing, but by all means, go ahead.
Well, I mean, they've got to not promote it, but they've got to represent their league, you would think.
They got to get their CW viewership to 25 viewers instead of 20.
It's going to be interesting to see what Dustin Johnson's going to wear because Adidas dropped him, same as Cobra dropped Bryson.
Yeah. This is interesting, especially with the weather forecast. Looks like it's going to be pretty rainy there Friday through Sunday. So we'll see how soft it gets. That means scoring is going to be better. So
no rollout on the drives, which is another reason they don't know if Tiger Woods will be able to make it because it's a hilly course. Even he was talking about it. Doesn't know if he'll be able to walk if he makes the cut all 72 holes.
It's Tiger at Augusta, though.
Last year. But the landscape, like he was able to play at Pebble Beach, or not Pebble Beach, in the tournament in California because it's all flat.
Yeah, but he was in worse condition last year and played all 4 rounds of the Masters and also shot 1 under on day 1. And this year we saw him, obviously, like you said, Riviera is a flatter course, but played very well on Saturday in that tournament, the 3rd round. So I think we'll see a better performance from Tiger this week.
But I can attest, leg issues, sometimes they get worse.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. But you would think that Tiger is Tiger, and he's got to be used to it by now. Plus, it's Tiger at Augusta. We're going to get something. All right, college hoops, where the season is over.
Yeah, you had the lowest viewed national championship game on record.
Yeah, I think it was 14 mil or something, 14.8, somewhere around there.
I fell asleep before it, so I did not get to watch it.
The late start feels like a problem for sure.
But
It's
though I think they disrespected the women's one starting it on a Sunday at 2:30.
is that how I think that's how it always is, isn't it?
But that should at least be like a 5 o'clock game.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. But I know that last year was 17 mil or 18 mil, sorry, 18.1 for Kansas, North Carolina. Just looking at some other ones here.
But what you also had 9-5-4-4 in the Final Four or
Yeah,
9-5-5-4.
9.554. Yeah. North Carolina Gonzaga 2017 was 23 mil. Villanova, North Carolina 2016 with the buzzer beater was 17.7 mil. Duke, Wisconsin was 28.2 in 2016. UConn, Kentucky was 21. Louisville, Michigan 2013 was 23. Kentucky, Kansas in 2012 was 20. Here's a big one here because this is kind of maybe the most bizarre matchup besides this one. UConn Butler was 20.05. And the year before that, Duke Butler was 23.9. So, yeah, I mean, they've gotten the national championship this year got what a lot of the Final Four ratings get. Like, for example, Florida and George Mason in 2006 in the Final Four got 14.4. That's about what this national championship was in terms of ratings. So it's not surprising. It's not bad. I mean, it's San Diego State in the national championship. That's never going to do. They're lucky that it wasn't Miami, San Diego State, because that rating would have been much worse. But it could have been worse for sure. I predicted they would get 13 million, so I expected it to be low, but they did a little better than I thought. You also had Michigan center Hunter Dickinson enter the portal, as does another standout Baylor guard L.J. Cryer. You also had Oral Roberts guard Max Asmus, one of the better scorers in college basketball. We'll see if he goes to a high major and see what his production looks like. But the portal's up to over 1,100 players right now. It's not surprising.
So dumb.
It's where we're at. So we'll see where Dickinson goes. I'm going to say right now, I know Dickinson has a Zoom call with Kentucky. He also talked to Arkansas. I'm going to say he goes to Arkansas. Why not? I think Maryland's in the mix. I think any of the Blue Bloods are in the mix. Kansas, I think, would be a great fit. So, NIT championship, North Texas beat UAB 68-61.
No, Saturday you had the Final Four. San Diego State beat FAU 72-71 on a buzzer beater. And then UConn beat Miami 72-59. Monday championship game, UConn beat San Diego State. Oh, that's definitely not the right score.
Yeah, it is.
76-59.
Yeah. UConn, one of the most dominant runs in the history of the tournament.
Then you had the women's Final Four Friday. LSU beat Virginia Tech 79-72. And then Iowa shocks the world and beats undefeated South Carolina, who won 46 straight games, 77-73. And in that game, Caitlin Clark had 41 points.
Not bad.
Shot 15-31 from the field, 5 for 17 from 3. Then you had 30. This was 30 years ago when San Diego State lost to the Fab Five. So that was his rebound to get back to the final. Coach Dutcher. It's crazy he's been there that long.
Did we talk about the women's national championship?
Oh, the Sunday National Championship. LSU beat Iowa 102-85. And I'm not even going to get into talking.
We're not going to get into the controversy. I think it's been over covered enough, right?
Yeah.
Don't need that.
There's already two sides. There's no reason to put our say in it.
Yeah. Major League Baseball, where the Tampa Bay Rays are the first team to start 6-0 in this to begin a season since the 2016 Orioles. I had the Rays finishing 4th, so it's a long season. Give it time.
And Babe Ruth's bat breaks records, sells for $1.85 million after a photograph.
Interesting.
Opening day starters, you had 4 strikeout games from Ohtani, Logan Webb, Garrett Cole, and Dylan Cease. Ohtani was his 26th, or his outing was the 26th outing at least 1901 with 10 plus strikeouts and no runs allowed on opening day. It's the first time that pitcher's team lost a game. No shocker for the Angels.
Yep, not at all, especially to that team, the Athletics.
Consecutive winning seasons, consecutive winning seasons with a winning record. Yankees at 30, Cardinals at 15, Dodgers at 12, Tampa Bay and Atlanta at 5, Toronto at 3, Philly, Houston, Milwaukee, Seattle at 2, Mets, San Diego, Cleveland, Baltimore at 1. Consecutive seasons with a losing record. The Angels at 7, Kansas City, Detroit, Texas 6, Philly, Colorado at 4, Washington, Arizona 3, Minnesota, Cubs, Miami 2, Cincinnati, Boston, Oakland 1.
Interesting.
Players of the week.
I got Colorado Rockies first baseman C.J. Cron with 7 for 15, 2 doubles, 3 home runs, 7 RBIs, 2 walks, 3 runs. Picked up where he left off last season with the bat.
I took Toronto's third baseman Matt Chapman, 11 for 19, 5 doubles, 4 runs, 4 walks, 3 RBIs.
All right, the NHL playoff clinchers to this point. Stanley Cup playoffs begin in, I think, 12 days-ish.
On the 18th.
Yes, 18th. Okay, I don't know why I didn't just read that. I did not. Okay, Eastern Conference clinchers, the Bruins, Leafs, Lightning, Hurricanes, Devils, Rangers. And the Western Conference is the Golden Knights, Kings, Oilers, Wild, Stars, Avalanche. And I think in terms of matchups, Devils, Rangers will be a matchup in the first round. I think Leafs, Lightning is a matchup. And then I think Kings, Oilers is a matchup. Barring any late, the Oilers are 3 points behind Vegas. Who knows if they'll catch them. Dallas, Minnesota, or Dallas, Colorado. Yeah. Those are possible matchups as well. They're all tied right now. But Boston likely to play, I would say, the Islanders or Penguins or Panthers, one of those 3 for sure. So we'll see, 13 days.
Yeah, and then I had the story from the Esposito brothers. Their first game during the 1968-99 season against Phil Esposito's Bruins and Tony's Blackhawks. It was a 2-2 game. One got a call from their parents asking after the game. They wanted to know how Tony did, so they were asking Phil. He told them good, real good, 2nd star. The mother asked who scored the first goal against them. I told her I did. She said, well, that's okay. You're his brother. Then asked who scored the second goal. I said, well, I got that one too. And she said, how the hell can you do that to your brother? She didn't talk to me for two weeks.
Interesting.
Stat leaders.
Yep, stat leaders. Connor McDavid leads in points. No surprise, 147. So he needs 3 points in their final 4 games. He's 24 ahead to get to 150.
Defense points, Carlson's at 96, 23 ahead.
Rookie points, Matty Beniers, the Kraken, 54-9 ahead.
Connor McDavid in goals at 62, 6 ahead.
Defenseman goals, Erik Karlsson, 22, 1 ahead.
Rookie goals, Wyatt Johnson of the Stars, 22, 1 ahead.
Assists, Connor McDavid, 85, 8 ahead.
Defenseman assists, Erik Karlsson, 74, 8 ahead.
Rookie assists, Matthias Michelli of the Coyotes, 35, 3 ahead.
Goal wins, Linus Ullmark at 38, 2 ahead.
Goalie save percentage is Ullmark as well, 937. He's .005 ahead.
Team point leaders is the Bruins, 60, 12, and 5, 125 points, 16 ahead, which I believe is of Carolina.
All right, let's do the picks. I went 12-4 last week.
8-7.
I got Siwoo Kim in golf, I think. Or no, Sepp Straka.
I had him too. I had him top 40.
Yeah.
What'd you have, Matt?
Top 40 as well.
Oh. Yeah, Siwoo Kim tied for 39th.
Yeah, I had him top 20.
And then your guy Davis Riley must have withdrawn mid-round or something because he was shot 6 over the first day, but then he was 9 under or 15 under the second day. So he was 9 under, but he withdrew. So I don't know if he didn't finish his round and withdrew or what.
Yeah, I don't know. What can you do? All right, let's start in the NBA tonight.
I got the Kings +6 over the Mavs and the Raptors +3 over the Celtics.
I got the Kings as well, and give me the Lakers +3.5, even though I'm kind of regretting it given the injuries to the Lakers, but I'll take the Lakers +3.5 at the Clippers. NHL.
I got the Lightning -105 over the Islanders and the Vegas -135 over the Kings. I think this is a little payback coming to the Kings for Jonathan Quick.
We'll see. We will see. Give me the Leafs +130 at the Bruins and the Rangers -180 at the Blues. So picking against our teams. Major League Baseball picks for Thursday's games.
I got the Red Sox -155 over the Tigers, the White Sox -135 over the Giants, Rockies -135 over the Nationals, Braves -165 over the Padres, Spencer Strider's on the mound, and the Dodgers with Dustin May -145 over the Diamondbacks.
Give me the Marlins +135 at the Mets, the Phillies -205 against the Reds, the Braves -165 over the Padres, the Dodgers -145 at the Diamondbacks, and the Tigers +130 against the Red Sox. All right, let's do the picks for the Masters.
I win Patrick Cantlay +2,000, Justin Thomas +2,200, Colin Morikawa +2,800.
I don't do this often in terms of picking a defending champ, but I'll take Scotty Scheffler +650, Jordan Spieth +1,800, and Cameron Smith +3,500.
My top 5 is Scotty Scheffler +150.
I got Justin Thomas +450.
Top 10, I have Max Homa +250.
I have Cam Young +275.
My top 20 is Cameron Smith at +110.
I got Max Homa +100.
And my top 40, one of my favorite players that we've talked about, Bubba Watson +110.
I'll take another lefty. Didn't play her last year, was terrible in other majors, but won a major 2 years ago. Phil Mickelson +120. Why not? Top 40. We'll see. Probably not, but good luck. So I took 2 live players there. Don't look now, folks.
I did too.
Now. Yeah. All right. That'll do it for us. We'll be back next week. And, lots to cover then and a lot of playoff talk, I would assume, with the NBA playoffs. So we will see everybody next week for number 106.
Deuces.